Okay. All right. Step one for solving this question would be to divide. I'm obviously going to do it the way I've taught it, which could be a bit different to the way your teachers have by now. Then I want to work out my critical value, which I usually put in little hats so we don't get it mixed up. Inverse sine of 1 should give you, what's inverse sine of 1? 90. I don't memorize them, as you can tell. Now, you don't want to write this line. You can see you've got a degree and then you've got something in radians. Not good. You don't want to do that. So, but because I know that's not part of my answer anyways, I don't really mind, because I know my next line I'm going to do all stations to central. I ask myself, where is sine negative? You would say here and here. So the actual answers I'm going to have are 3 theta plus 60 equals 180 plus 90, which is 270, and 360 minus 90, which is still 270. Do we all agree with that? Now, we know a few things. We know the domain's going to go from negative 2 pi to 2 pi, so negative 360 to 360. We also know that it's doing 3 revolutions. We also know that, same as said, by this stage you should learn to get into the habit of adding and subtracting 360s. So we're going to do that. We're going to add 360 and add more than you're comfortable with, if you don't mind. So 270, add 360, 630, add 360, 990, add 360, 1350, add 360. I think we're going a bit over, but it's okay. I'm doing it on purpose to show you it's okay to add more. Now we're going to subtract 360s. So 270, take away 360, negative 90. Take away 360, negative 450. 450. Take away 360, negative 810. Again, I'm pretty sure that's done, but who the hell cares? Take away 360, negative 1170. Or rather, honestly, the only kids that get this right, obviously, are Extension 1 kids. They get really good at it in Year 12. Advanced kids, because they're still not used to adding and subtracting 360s, they're never getting full marks. So I make it a habit. Just keep adding and subtracting. Better to even overkill it like I have. You'll cancel out at the end. At the end, you just go, oh crap, this is long over. Next line. So wait, let's recap. Step 1, divide by 2. Step 2, inverse sine only positives. Then all stations to central. Then add 360s and subtract 360s as much as you can or as much as you want to, because you know you're doing 3 revolutions, so you should probably add a lot more. There we go. Now you're going to subtract 60s, then you're going to divide by 3. And hopefully we have almost all the answers, if not all the answers, between negative 360 and 360. So 270, take away 60, 210. 630, take away 60, 570. 930, 1350, take away 60, 1290. 1710, take away 60, 1650. Negative 150. Negative 510. Negative 870. Negative 1170, take away 60, negative 1230. What are you going to do in your final answer? Divide everything by 3. 210 divided by 3. 70. 57 divided by 3. 190. 93 divided by 3. 310. 1290 divided by 3. 430, too large. Too large. Negative 150 divided by 3. Negative 50. 51 divided by 3. Negative 170. 870 divided by 3. Negative 290. Negative 1230 divided by 3. Negative 410, also too much. And those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are the answers I thought you were going to get. And then all you're going to do now is put it back into radian mode. 70 divided by 180. And that would be the answer. So Lauren, back onto you. Talk to me. Any questions? That would be your 4.
Just wouldn't say like pi equals 70, like doesn't that sit outside of the domain that we're like as in because we're only doing quadrants 3 and 4.
Say that again, please.
Wouldn't like say pi equals 70 because that theta equals 70.
You're saying pi. You mean theta?
Yeah, theta equals 70 because that sits outside of quadrants 3 and 4. So why does that still? So are we
pause. Firstly, we're trying to work out all the angles that are between negative 360 and 360. You agree with that, right?
Yes.
Now, when you're getting your actual theta as 70, don't forget you are going to multiply it by 3 and then add it to pi over 3. So it will actually go back into quadrant 3 and 4.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so like, yes, you're starting here, but by the time you add 60 degrees, you could already be here. And then timesing it by 3, you could be here.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't look at it as these values. Look at it as these values substituted back into this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's actually what is the angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not theta. Theta is not the angle. Theta is a solution such that that happens. But the angle is actually 3 theta plus 60.
Mm-hmm.
Which is 270, 640, 630, sorry, and blah, blah, blah. Who actually feels like they could have executed that 4 marks? Just silently. 1. Just 1. 2. At least just 1. 1 person. That's crazy. You don't think so? Maybe.
Honestly, I was gonna go the plus. I was gonna do that formula.
The extension 1 formula.
Yeah, the
Really?
sine cos plus.
Yeah.
The sine cos.
Would you have got it out? Okay. Out of curiosity, do you agree that you're going to get sine cos and then cos sine? You're going to have one that's going to have sine 3 theta, and you're going to have another one with cos 3 theta. What are you going to do now? So just fast forward. You're going to have, let's just hypothetically say this is your equation. Sine 3 theta plus cos 3 theta equals 1.
So that's
a mess.
a thinker.
So what you're going to do in year 12, you are going to get those questions. In year 12, you will get that question. What you're going to do is transform it back into looking like this. So you can't ever solve for sine and cos. So that's just a heads up. The only time you can solve for sine and cos is one we did last week. Who remembers that one? It's the only time you can solve for sine and cos at the same time. Who remembers? It is the term. So the only time you're going to solve for sine and cos is if you had this. Not equal to 1, but equal to 0. Yes, you can divide everything by cos. That becomes a 10. That one is allowed. Got it? As soon as it equals to 1, impossible to solve. You've got to transform this back into this version, which is next year. Easy, it's just Pythagoras, but just you can't do it. One person can get this out. Yeah, that's horrible. What I would be saying, if I were you guys, I would literally repeat this exact question, because I mean, that has everything. That's got the negative, that's got the triple angle, it's got the movement left and right, it's got literally everything. And it's got your domain changing. That's actually everything that can ever happen. I would write that again and again and again until you're able to get 4 marks. So with the year 12s, again, I always refer back to them for you guys. For the next 2 weeks, we're not doing any more papers. They must, in the current papers